Most of the Jewish prostitutes that are plaguing Israel are from the U.S. They're Israeli citizens from here, United States. They all run around without bras, without shirts. It's pretty bad. So when you're pushing that crap on Orthodox religious countries, it's toast. It's toast. They're running around saying they're not going to put a shirt on in Israel around all the Hasidaic Jews. That's what they're doing. They're doing it. I've pointed it out. They like to film themselves, these kind of individuals, men and women, the pimps, and the deranged, perverted men who like to touch themselves and call girls and pay girls to touch themselves more, and it really nasty, nasty, nasty perversion. The girls do whatever he tells her. The girls do whatever he wants to do to them, as long as he pays her. So go ahead, rape her about 10,000 times in the room as long as she's paid. This is really sick. It all came out of the United States. It started with rape culture, drug culture. There was never any breaks, ever any breaks. It just went down, 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 and there's no bottom. Now you got a terrorist cell 6 blocks down the street from NATO. They keep thinking they're sending in their cops, their feds. They're always coming to go on Instagram, to go on some sort of camera. You really got to really, when you see this in the historical museum, because the good guys are taking power. Don't forget that. That's the end of the story. They put up a museum, and you're going to have some things in the museum where you can really see the Pavlov dogs, the human people in America were hooked like animals to the reward system of cameras and being on film. It destroyed the Western U.S. drug addict, pimps, hookers. That's all they all were. In the end, that's what happened. I mean, you do drugs long enough, that's all you're going to be. It's all you're going to be. And the perversion that comes, the perversion from the rape culture, the hardcore porn culture that just never had breaks, it turns into, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know this, but if you want to research this college essay research, find out what I'm telling you. Please do me a service. That kind of sexual, antisocial perversion leads to what you have with the Pope, who is 80 years old, and he's talking about touching himself and masturbating and orgasms, and he's 80 years old. And the Catholic Church already has a massive, I don't have word, but biggest problem in Catholics' archdiocese history. In the timeline sense, their timeline is based off the biblical time here, before and after Christ. So after Christ, AC, we're at year 2024, AC, the Catholic Archdiocese has the biggest, worst problem with the priests and the nuns engaging in pedophilia and touching all the kids and raping all the little kids, the little choir boys and the little schoolgirls. It's like criminal charges all over the world that the good people in law enforcement that are still out there don't know what to do with all the Catholic priests that can't keep their hands off their private parts and their hands off the other little children, 5 and 3 and 6 years old, their private parts. Stop touching the little kids' jewels. You're pulling down the pants of a little kid and touching it, man. That's grounds for life in prison, man. You're not a priest anymore, protected by your perverted Pope, who's sitting there in Vatican saying, I touch myself too. God said it's a gift. Orgasm, I touch myself too. Let's all touch ourselves in the parish right now. This is what you get, okay? The West is collapsing. You've got women belligerent, saying they're refusing to wear shirts. I don't feel guilty. I'm refusing. I won't wear a shirt. She came off, that young woman, as friendly, as nice. I really like African American women, but over the course of 7 years, as they all lined up to get that money with the white girls, because the white girls were getting the first dibs and their first jobs, they were being recruited by the Russian pimps first, because we're in a racist hierarchy here. The top king pimp is the white guy. I told you this. The Russian mob is not going to let someone else run their organized crime enterprise other than a white guy. So these white guys were recruiting all these white women in America who were lining up and running up for it. And I told you just why now. Because they never put any brakes on with rape culture, drug culture, porno, none of it. You got the most twisted young women now. I told you that. They don't know how many boys they're supposed to have in bed with them. They don't understand any of it, dude. They think you're insulting them, and they'll become so belligerent with violent tendencies and put violence on you if you tell them to cook even a pancake for you. They'll just frightening. You're going to get hurt. She'll hurt you, dude. And then she's going to do the same thing. And this is white and black. This is the American women. They're going to do the same thing if you tell them to wear a shirt over the bra, man. Just put on a shirt today. Try it. Try it. You're hoeing. You're hoeing. They'll become more belligerent. They'll say their mother was, their sister was, their cousin's a hoe. There's nothing wrong with it. They're liberated. They got money. It pays the bills. What you're dealing with is people who are so psychologically scarred. Some of them can't be recovered. When you have this kind of perversion, and women and men start having intercourse with their own children, which is a phenomena, and it is on record happening now, statistical record is happening now. It's an uptick in it with parents having sex with their kids. You read me now? When a kid has an orgasm with his own parent, that child is so scarred, there's really no recovering that victim of sexual abuse. That is the most satanic stuff you can do on the planet. And the Americans have claimed that one too. And they film it and they put it in porno, and everybody's selling it. The Puerto Rican gangs are selling it on the corner. No, I put it on my account when I first went after Biden and Trump. Biden and Trump were big time involved with the Latin kings, big time involved with porno and everything. These men in power are just sexual deviants, and they're dangerous like the Pope. No way would I let my child around any 80-year-old man who talks about touching his junk all the time and sits there and preaches and lectures me about that. That is a very arrogant, dangerous, antisocial, perverted man whose perversion is way too dangerous to let around any child alone. He's going to take all that anger and arrogance out and his perversion out on a kid who never saw it coming. And that kid will have to get years of psychological therapy after he ever comes across that Pope in the Vatican ever again. Put your shirts on, learn to be decent, learn to be polite. That's all that a society asks of you. It has nothing to do with white, it has nothing to do with black. You can say goodbye to Kim Kardashian and how she became a billionaire. She runs money, she launders money for the Russian mob. They're called Russian models. They run smut, they run girls. Okay, it's not pretty. These girls let the men rape them. It ain't no romance and they ain't pretty. These men lock these women up. There's no handles on the doors. The girls can't get out of the rooms. They're on so much fucking drugs, it's nasty, nasty, nasty. They keep them so high, it's really scary. And then when they die, they just kill them. And they start chopping bodies up. They've gone too crazy with that here. They're chopping bodies up. Yeah, the gangs run the girls. They lock them in rooms. The girls sign up for it here. It's not like a scary movie where the girls get stolen. No, they signed up. They want it. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting to watch women commit suicide and have no regard for their life and just say, okay, I want to be in the Mexican drug cartel. I want to be a princess. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to let these Mexican drug cartel pimps, they're going to lock me in the room. I'm going to go along with it. I'm going to let everybody gang rape me and rape me and rape me and keep me really loaded and do a whole bunch of videos. And then I think I'm going to get out. They're going to let me out of that door. There's no handles on the door. And then when I do, I'm some sort of special little lady, and I can be like Ivanka Trump. Ivanka Trump is a Russian prostitute. I can be like her and marry someone in political power when I get out of this house they've trapped me in with no doors on the handles. But what happens to like 90% of the girls is they overdose and die, and they just discard of the human remains. Okay, they're treating women like freaking cattle worse than ever before. They got the ones that are still alive yelling about how they're not wearing shirts, black or white. It's just gone to crap. I want the Russian mob and the Saudi Arabian Al-Qaeda pimps. I want them off anything that has to do with a camera. Take it away from these pimps. Take the camera away from the Americans. I want to shop for shapewear and not be shopping for my undergarments at Victoria's Secret immersed in smut, immersed with Russian models for sale. I don't want to feel shame and upset at any age I was in life because I had to shop with a whole bunch of hookers to get my freaking bra. This ends today. Kim Kardashian, she's a big one to blame for that. You're a big one to blame, Kim. You're half of the Congress here. They all know it, and I do too. You did half of the Congress members. It didn't work for you, did it, Kim Kardashian? All that sex work didn't get you very far, did it? And your $1 billion is mine. You're going to sit in prison with not one penny. And you're going to be hung in prison for treason, for terrorism. All right. As far as the rest of her little followers around the world, that's in China, who want to be triad hookers, get rich with triad, you end up in just about 8 pieces there. You end up about 8 pieces here. But each one of you women thinks you're special. You're going to end up like Ivanka Trump. You have no respect for your lives, and you have no respect for anyone else's life. Take the cameras away from these hookers. Take the cameras away from their pimps. I want to shop for shapewear. I want to look good. I want to wear these shapewear butt things that make your butt look real good. I'll wear it. I deserve to have my butt look good. I'm not selling my butt. Take the shapewear, take the products, put them in another company, and sell it to women like me that want to look good after we lose about 20 pounds and wear something that makes our butt look nice. Because we're not selling our ass. We're not hoeing. All right? I'm tired of shopping for underwear and shapewear and encountering this crap. Goodbye.